Hi guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting live. If you're new to my channel, head down there, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, get notifications when I'm live, and like and share my videos. So as the description says, I'm going to make a bag up as I go, and this will be my second time using a zipper, except this time I'm not going to seal the bag with a zipper. I'm going to do a zipper pocket inside the bag, because I'm really tired of attempting this whole zipper thing. So I'm going to try a simpler thing, and then maybe I'll get used to it enough to take that next step again for a different zipper. So I am going to attempt all this, and I'm just going to make things up and numbers and everything as I go. Why? Because, well, I really don't have a plan. I'm just making a purse, which I do very well, minus the fact zippers. So hi Vicky, hi Michelle, hi Debbie. All right, so I went to Tuesday morning today and got 3 packs. They're just squares. They sell these at Walmart too, but Tuesday morning is actually cheaper. They're 21 piece charm squares. They come in a package like this, and there's 21 pieces, blah 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 blah, and 2 of each. So I matched this set with this, and when I make the other bags, because I got 2 more sets, I will make videos when I make other things to show you the other 2 packs that I have gotten to make purses. And this one specifically, I chose this color, which it had some scrap already, as well as I grabbed out the bolt just in case I need more. So I also am going to change things up a little by using some interfacing, because I was watching videos, and I don't know why, because I quilt them anyway with batting, so they kind of come out pretty thick. But I'm going to attempt to use some interfacing with this and see if it comes out a little bit more stiffer with the bag, as well as I'm still going to use batting and so on. So hi Cindy, let's see, I said hi Debbie, hi Beverly. So yeah, I am going to start with my squares, I guess, and some of this, because I think I'm going to, let's see, we got 2 of each. No, there's more than 2 of that one. There's 3 of that one, and there's 3 of that one, 3 of that one, 3 of this one. I'm going to separate all these, and we're going to make the outer part, which will give me the middle section's measurements, as well as I dug through my zippers. I don't have very many colors to choose from, nor do I have very many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 zippers. They're kind of blah, but they match the colors of everything. So this one will get a green zipper because the green goes good with it. And the other ones I have are all metal, which I used last night. And let me tell you, maybe I should know better, but you can't cut a metal zipper. So yeah, I haven't learned my lesson yet, but I'm still learning how to do this. So
are you going to teach them how to do a purse?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to start by, I think I want to make the front part one way and the back part another. So I'm going to grab one from every color.
Hello, everyone. I'm not going to be in here long.
So there's 21 pieces, just letting you guys know. There's 21 pieces here. We're going to take one from each, because there's 3 of each color. And I'll make sure I give you guys direction as I go.
So you don't actually use all 21 pieces, or do you?
I'm not sure. I'm making something first.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to stack all these up, and I am going to cut them in half. These are 5-inch squares, so just so you guys know, you can do whatever you want. I'm just using 5-inch squares. They go together. I'm going to stack them all up.
I'll ask the dumb questions so they don't have to.
And I'm going to cut them all in half, which would be 2.5-inch strip pieces. Not strips, because they're just 2.5-inch rectangles, I should say. And they're totally not the same size. And I want this stripe like this. But we're going to make it work. So I'm trying to cut it all in half. And I'm going to piece together and see how wide this comes out for the bag. 2.5. that'll give me the bottom part. So we're going to start by sewing these. Let's see who else is on. Hi, Linda.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Judy. And I'm still standing because I can't sit, and every time I sit, it is killing me more. So I'm going to piece these together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, starting with these, and then I'll repeat. So I'm just going to take them in the order that they're in and sew them together. The 1/4 inch seam allowance, and get to it. See how fast I can make yet another bag. Because last night's bag was, I mean, it worked, but it's still considered an epic fail because the zipper was wrong. Because I have the zipper exposed. When you open the bag, I have seams exposed, so it got messed up. So right now I'm just going to finger press everything all one direction.
I told her about the donut. She didn't want the donut.
Oh, something to sit on? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll stand. It's no big deal. I'll be fine. It's very painful, but that's okay. I'll live. I'm in a better mood today, though. I got a nap. An actual real nap.
And she got to go to Walmart, the 99-cent store, and all those other places. Tuesday morning, she got to buy fabric.
So I think I'm going to make front pockets on this purse now that I'm doing this, making sections. So I have, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, sew them together, or no, 7 of these, sorry, what am I thinking? 7 of them, sew them together. And that's going to be the width of my bag.
Debbie's daughter broke her tail when she was 15.
Yikes.
Well,
mine's not broke, so I know that.
I broke mine in high school football.
I would be in more pain. So 7 of them are sewn together in just a random order. And I'm going to sew the other 7, and then I'm going to put my background color on the top, middle, and bottom in different sizes, though. I'm going to do the same order, but I'm going to flip them. No, actually, I'm going to move them
I'll be the Vanna
around. That way it's not exactly the same.
I don't look as good as Vanna, but you know, I can handle her job.
Hi, Pamela. Who else has joined that I didn't see? I said hi to Beverly. Tiff, why not use what will make things on you? Tiff. Huh? What? Why not use what things will make things on me?
I don't know. Use things to make it easier for you, maybe?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you going to have a separate inside the bag?
What do you mean?
I'm not sure. Beverly Bailey's asking an actual real question here. Are you going to have a separate inside the bag, a separator, like dividing the bag in 2 maybe?
Nope. This one will have a pocket, a zipper pocket, and 2 regular pockets that don't have zipper. Is what I'm going to do. And then the outside, I'm also going to put a pocket on the front of the bag. I'm going to make all these purses. I bought 3 different fabric piece, things. I'm going to make 3 different purses. They're all going to be pieced differently. But they'll all have a pocket inside because I don't have a zipper big enough and I don't have no snaps or buttons and stuff. But Scott and I are going to, I looked them up online. We're just going to look them up better and find a decent amount of snaps and all the other stuff if I'm going to keep making purses, and 100 pack of zippers because that way I have choices and I can cut them down or whatever. These ones are only 10 inches. So
Hey, we were at Walmart today and we found it's easier to buy them on Amazon. You can get a bunch of them.
Because one zipper was $2.79 and I'm not going to pay $2.79 for one zipper when I can get by the bulk 100 of them for, what was it, 11
something like that.
Yeah. So I'm just going to try to save money that way if I'm going to keep making purses,
We'll see, Vicky, maybe someday.
All right, so these are just random. Now I'm going to measure how big these are. And then, actually I'm going to press them, then measure them. So we'll be right back, 2 seconds.
Do you want me to turn the camera? Are you good?
Oh, I'm good for now.
Okay.
No, I can't pick it up. All right,
Okay, Beverly wants to know, are you going to put a zipper on the top?
Nope, I cannot do that because I screwed up yesterday's.
No, she's not doing the zipper. She messed up yesterday's.
I'm just going to do a zipper on the inside pocket.
Okay, D-rings and hooks, strapping for crossbody bags.
Yeah, those
says
things.
Diane.
That's what I'm going to buy, is stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so these are 15 inches. Ooh, that one didn't come out, no, 15 inches. Why are they 2 different sizes? They came from the same strips.
Maybe you cut them separately.
That's okay, I'm going to just trim them then. So I need this.
Well, see, that's what I tell you all the time. They need to see it when you fail so they can see how you fix it.
Well, I'm just going to...
Well, people that are learning fail a lot. People that are learning make a lot of mistakes. And they need to learn how to fix mistakes. So here, we can show.
Fix mistakes. I'm making it up as I go. It's not really a mistake.
Oh, you know what I mean. I'm not saying you screwed anything up. See, the one came out just a little bit longer than the other.
And that's the same amount of strips, go figure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to cut a...
You know what I mean. It's, you know, not everything is perfect in life or in quilting.
I'm going to cut a 3-inch strip for the top. So above will be a 3-inch strip, and then the bottom of this front part will be...
By the way, guys, she loves...
5, 6, 7, 8. This is Teresa sent me this.
She loves this
ruler.
And she's wearing her socks.
Oh,
For the fella that sent her the socks, she's wearing them.
I'm wearing my socks, guys.
Yep. She's wearing her socks. You okay? Don't hurt yourself. Okay, now you can go on talking about cutting. I just had to quick point that out.
Okay, so that's 3 inches. 5, 6, 7, 8, 7.5. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That'll be a 14-inch bag if I cut 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to cut 8 inches. How about we just make this whole thing, because that way I can use the rest for nothing.
Teresa thinks you're getting sick.
I am sick, actually, and been sick, and it just seems to be getting worse. All right, so that is 8.5-inch cut, and I am going to open this up. So this to this and to this. So I'm just going to start with, because one piece will be the front bottom where I'm going to put a pocket. And I'll make this first part first. So I'm just going to cut the selvage off and make it up as I go. Because that's what I do. Just make things up as I go.
Oh, you do pretty good, honey.
Alright, that can be saved for the internal thingy. Let's cut this the exact same.
Is that filler on this into the socks?
We won't know because he can't chat.
Oh. Well, she really likes them.
Salvage on.
Do you need a tissue or anything?
No.
The water?
No, no, and no.
I'm going to go out there and then let you finish teaching. I couldn't get to talk too much when I'm here.
Okay.
So don't worry. You'll just hear me chat.
Alright, so I'm going to start by remembering that this is 3-inch, because on my back I'm going to put the same 3-inch strip, which is right there. So I'm going to put these right sides together, sew this, and then sew this onto the bottom. We're going to make this fun. Fun little purse. Because it's random. And I'm making it up as I go. And I can't believe sewing the same amount of strips together was wonky. Go figure. Should just trim them down, then cut them. going to press this up with my finger for now. Add this to the other side. This should be a pretty fun bag. Hopefully. And it'll be quilted. Hi, Aunt B. I don't know who else is here. All right, so let me finger press this. I'm going to press it over at the iron, and then I'll straighten it up because it's kind of wonky. And then I'll measure it so that I know how big I'm going to trim it down to. I'm just having fun with it. That is what I'm doing. So I have this. I'm going to trim it down because this piece will get put down here. And actually, I'm going to have to trim it down about this size. They are not going to line up. It's going to be funky. Maybe I'll just build around it. And that's what I'll do. With all that excess. So I'm going to trim it down to this so that they're even, sort of even. I'll know the measurements in a second, guys. This is not a no waste project because it looks like I'm wasting. Stay right there. Okay. So let's measure. I'm just having fun, by the way, so that you guys all know there's nothing specific about this. That's 14 and a half. So it'll be 14 and a half. So let's just lay this right here on the line. Come over 14 and a half. Right here. Turn that off. Okay, so now I need this again. And we're going to put this into 2 strips, one for above it and one for below it, and that should work. 2 strips off of this. Need 5. I'm measuring 6, 7, so 2.5 and a 2-inch strip. 2.5 and a 2-inch strip above and below. 2.5. And when I'm in my zone, I don't catch the comments as much. I think I'm just going to trim down if I need to. All right, let's put one of these above and below. And it should be the same size as this gap right here. I know I'm making some funky cuts here. I'm making it up as I go. Hi, Delilah. So glad I caught you. Love your live show. Thank you. I should have just moved this darn chair completely out of my way. So with a 1/4-inch seam, I'm now sewing this part on. And I hope you guys like my directions as I go. I like making things up as I go. I don't know about you guys, but I do. Got this one on this side. And then I'll make the back of the bag after I know how big the front of the bag will be. press it. And I'll be right back on the screen. And this front piece will need another back piece, and everything has to be quilted separately, unfortunately. So this should be the same as this. It comes up just a little. That's really going to bother me that these things are so messed up. I'm going to have to trim the whole thing down to 14 inches, I think. Because of the whole patchwork pieces being off. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Just take a 1/4 inch off each side. That way it's nice and equal the whole way. Alright. So I'm going to take this down to 14 inches. Under. I'm aligning it up real quick. That way I can trim everything equally. So I'm going to take off a 1/4 inch on each side. So it'll be 14 inches by, I don't know because I don't know. Okay, now let's measure this. 14 by 15 3/4, which is good enough. Lay on there. Okay. And 15 3/4. So it's 14 by 15 3/4. Okay. Top and bottom part is done. Now let's make the back side. So I'm going to quilt this and this totally separately and then put them together because this will be my little front pocket thing on the front. It'll be a tall bag. I think it'll be fine. So I'm laying that out of my way. And what did I say? 14. Grab one more of each of these. This one for this one for this one for that one. And for each of these. Ah, so there should be 6. 14 by, what did I say again? 15 3/4. So that's 5. 7. The back side is going to be just all these pieces in patchwork. And I need 2 pieces to be I don't know. Let's grab 2 because the other ones can just be for the inner pocket. Let's put this one in. Just going to make a big huge 9 patch. That should work. And let's see. This one? No. Yes. That? No. That. 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 No. Yes. Okay. And the last ones will go for my inner pocket. That. Aha. Let's do this. Like this. Create a big 9 patch and then trim it to the size I need. And then the other pieces that are left will go towards the inner pocket. No. I like how I just shifted to things. Yeah, I don't need a pattern. I'm just making something. So I'm going to sew these together now and create a big, huge 9 patch and then trim it down to whatever I said I needed to trim everything to. And if I need to add to it, I can just add around it with the background color. And since these are some wonky 5-inch squares, no wonder they're so cheap. Because these are wonky. I'm just leaving them on the machine. Chain piecing a lot of them. In, out, in. Probably gonna end up having to take my sweatshirt off. I'm actually getting warm in here. Wow, that is so wonky. I don't like when they're this wonky. But we're going to make it work. Why? Because that's what I do. Okay. So let's go in, out, in. Should have put the stripe in the middle. I think that would look better. All right, I'm going to nest them, and I'll take it over to the iron after I sew these rows together, press it, and then trim it to the size I need. Because I think I'm going to probably just take that 3-inch piece and put it along the top. I'm really not wasting much fabric here. I am having fun with it, and that's all that matters, especially when I do these random things. But I have a goal for Christmas presents, and I might as well show you what I'm doing. And if you've already guessed it, my goal is purses. Purses and bags. Well, it's all the same. Purse and bags. Okay. So now I'm going to take this over my wonderful 9 patch and press it really nicely. I want it as flat as possible so that I can get my next measurements correctly. Everything's laying nice and flat. Use steam. You can know this iron. Hey, speaking of irons, guess what I found, guys? I found Squeak. I found Squeak. Squeak was hiding under this table. This whole entire time, that's where Squeak was. But Squeak needs to be no water because Squeak, see, found Squeak, my shark iron. This is actually my favorite iron, but it squeaks. And it cannot have water in it because it leaks everywhere. So that's the only reason why Squeak is not being used. I think it was because I was using it out in the garage. So yeah. All right, I'm going to use this right here. This part. Oh yeah, so let's add that 3-inch piece and then trim off some. I want it to be somewhat similar. So yeah, let's add that and then I'll trim off the bottom. So here's that. This one's not going to be enough. Let's grab this 3-inch piece right here. Was that this one? No. I know this was, wasn't it? Now it's, yeah, it was 3 inches. This is not 3 inches. This is 3 1/4. So let's take this down to 3 inches. I'm going to attach it to the top and then trim everything. And I'll look at the comments in a second. I do need to clear my screen because when I'm standing right here, I can actually look at comments right here. Hi, Jim. Hi, Bonita. Must have been notified. Did he share his quote? What? I don't know what you guys are talking about. You mean a picture? I don't know. Jim, I don't remember if you did. You didn't send me a picture of the quote yet, did you? I totally forgot to take a picture of the quilt when I finished it. So cut this selvage off. I'm gonna sew it on, and then I'll just talk what I need to cut off. So this will be my back part of the purse, and then I'll trim it. First, I'm going to trim it real quick so I have a nice straight line to work with because I'm going to be cutting top and bottom anyway. So I'm just going to line this up. My seam lines are straight. It's the pieces that are not. So line this up, sew it on, and then trim. Sewing with a 1/4 inch seam. So the top part of the front and back of the bag are 3-inch strips. The front one just so happens to have the front thing being added to it. Alright, I'm going to press this back. I don't want to have to keep turning the camera, that's why I'm just walking out the screen. You guys know what pressing looks like. Alright, so now I'm going to trim this to be exactly the same size as this. So I'm going to line my strip up at the top because those I want to at least be the same. I'm also going to center it, and these 9-inch squares were perfect. I mean, 9-patch 5-inch squares came out perfect. So technically I just need to trim it down. I'm just using this as a template, so I'm going to go across it. So it is still 14 inch, or 14 by 15. Sorry, I got to remeasure again just so you guys know. I'm just barely cutting anything off. I didn't even think that was a 1/4 inch. I was trimming it. Okay. So it is now 14 by 15 3/4. 14 by 15 3/4. So there's the back of the bag. Here's the front of the bag. And here is the front bottom part. Actually, I think I want the smaller part up here. And that matches. I don't want that to match. I want it to be random. So I'll keep the bottom like that. All right, so back of the bag, front of the bag. This will be the front pocket area down to the bottom of the bag. And now I'm going to move these out of the way and write down the numbers 14 by 15 3/4. Because I know I will forget and somebody else will forget and I won't scroll through the chat. So 14 by 15 3/4. And that is actually trash. So see, I wasn't cutting off much. Like this, I'll throw this into my scraps though. So some of it I'm throwing in the garbage, some of it I'm not. All right, so let's work on making the lining and doing this whole pocket thing. So I need 14. Okay, so these are for the other pocket on the inside. I'm going to cut out 14 inches. And I'll get that from the yardage itself. Put it on a line. I probably should have pressed all this first, but I'm not going to bother. Grab the ruler. And I'm going to cut off a 14-inch piece because I'll get 15 for both sides of the inner part of the lining from this. And one side will just be getting a a zipper pocket, and the other side will be getting a, oh my God, no, I can't think, a regular slip pocket. So I'm going to come over to 14, put my ruler down, line it up on the line. All right, there's 14 inches cut off. And then we're going to turn it, cut the selvage off, and cut over 15 3/4 inch. Because I have to do this in two separate spots. Because one side's getting a zipper and one side's getting a slip pocket. So coming over 15 3/4 inch. 15 3/4 inch. It's probably going to be a very oddly shaped bag, but that's okay. And this piece I can use for my zipper pocket. This last piece that was on here. So here's my two pieces. One is going to be for the lining. And then these pieces, let's move that down here. This one, I need to press it and trim that because that's kind of funky how that just happened. This is why they say to press your fabric first. Well, sometimes that funkiness happens. Yeah, definitely. Got crooked right there. Just need to trim that little funkiness off. It's actually not very crooked at all. Just had a wrinkle in it. Okay. So I'm going to start by doing my zipper pocket side first. Let's get the zipper thing out of the way. So I saw lots and lots of videos. I do not have any, whatever it's called, so I'm going to reach over and grab some glue out of my drawer. Hopefully my glue works. So I have some glue. And now I need this piece right here pressed. I am going to make a pocket. So I'm not even really for like whatever measure down. I'm just going to say, okay, this is where I want it. I'm going to line it up. And for video's sake, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches down. I'm just going to use my mat because I can see the line through the fabric, like so. And 4, no, I'm going to come 3 inches down. Why? Because I just realized I have to, like, put the zipper in. And now, I need this, I guess? No. How big is this zipper? Okay, this is the part where I'm lost, so I'm not even going to pay attention to the comments. You guys can just watch me do this, because I'm going to pretend I'm still watching the videos. I watched a bazillion of them, so this is a 10 inch. So I need to take this ruler and come down about an inch, and I'm going to draw a 10 inch line. Okay, that's on there. So I'm going to draw a 10 inch line with a pen because it's getting cut and folded anyway. So, oops, right there. I'm going to stop right there. Okay. And then the zipper is how wide? It's an inch. So I need to come down 3/4 of an inch, I guess. And draw 10 inch line, 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Just like so. Hoping I'm doing this right. And then, no, that seems too wide. That seems way too wide. How about? Yes, that's way too wide. Let's go 1/2 inch. They actually don't tell you how big because I was not paying attention to that part probably. Half an inch is better. And then draw my line on here on this side, and draw my line on here on this side. All these markings will be inside this purse, so I don't think it's going to matter. And then I'm going to draw a V right here. Trust me, I watched a lot of videos, guys. Over 50 of them. And draw a V right here. I'm hoping this works because I really, really, really want it to. I probably shouldn't have used this dark of a marker or a pen. I mean, draw a line down the center. So now, let's pretend this other line isn't here. I'm going to show you guys. Let me put a pin in it so that it stays. I don't want it to move from the position I have it in. I'll just throw some pins in. So don't mind the bottom line. Remember, these are like prototype purses, really. So I drew a line. Can you see that? On top and bottom, ½ inch apart, and then I drew a little triangle at the end, and then drew a line down the center to the other side. So it's 10 inches long, because that's how big the zipper is. And let's make sure it's going to fit in there perfectly, and it is. So that's really how it's going to fit. Yep, perfect. Now, like the videos I watched, I'm going to sew around the whole entire outside of that whole entire long rectangle. And let's hope that this works, or else I'm just wasting a ton of fabric. So I'm going to start on one side. I'm going to put my needle down. Let me grab my phone so I can see comments. Anyone hear anything from the Quilting Marine or Miss Marketing Bot? I haven't heard anything, but he was on Facebook recently. I'm sewing on these lines, by the way, guys. I'm just going to sew all the way around. I'm not sewing on the center line. I'm just sewing all the way around on the line. I'm going to come right here to this end. I'm going to pivot, sew down. Just a ½ inch, because that's how big my line is. I'm going to sew down this side on my line. I'm really hoping that this comes out correctly, because you guys get to witness if I'm doing it right or wrong. You'd think after a while of watching videos that I would have caught on, but I guess I'm an in-person learner. I mean, I do learn from videos, obviously, but... And I'm backstitching, cutting. Now, according to what I've been watching on the videos, take a pair of scissors, fold this now, and I'm going to cut on that middle line that I drew. And these scissors suck. Let's grab some of them out. Really, really super duper Sharpie ones. Cut on this line. All right. I'm going to cut on the line all the way to the point and then stop. Cutting on the line all the way to the point and then stop. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. So I cut on that middle line in between the both, and now, let's see if you can see this. See that V? I'm going to cut now. Now that I went right up to it, I'm going to cut to the top of the V on both sides, but not snip my stitch line. And again, if I get this wrong, then I'm telling you it all wrong, but I have somewhat of a memory, and I remember seeing this. So I am going to snip that. And no, there's a lot of YouTubers and bag makers that make it all this exact way. So, ow, that hurt. Oh, and by the way, if this was not an all solid and this was like a printed fabric, this would be right sides up and this would be wrong side, wrong side up. So they'd be right sides together making this, by the way, if this wasn't a solid piece of fabric. So just thought I'd let you know, because I know that was correct. So now I'm going to press with my fingers back. Yeah, that's what it was. No, actually, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it through the hole and bring it to the other side. This to the other side. This to the other side. The whole thing comes around now to the other side, creating this big, huge disaster that I need to press. So give me a second. We're going to go over to the ironing board, and I'm just going to take you with me on this one. I'm going to lay my piece flat. I'm going to straighten this bottom piece. Use my fingers. And we're going to get this nice and pressed. Pulling this whole thing all the way out, all the way around. I'm going to start by right here in this corner. I'm going to go right here at this top piece. And press right up to it so that it loosens that. Fold it over. Folding it over. I know there's probably a lot of stuff in my way. Come down here. And then I'm going to straighten this one up. I'm pretty sure there was a way to press it first. Heat that up. Press it over where it's nice and flat. Look at that. Now I have a hole. Okay. Now I'll show you guys what we got going on so far, and let's hope that I'm doing this correctly still. I'm pretty sure I am. So now I have a window like this, and then on the back side is where we're going to put the zipper, and this comes here. So this will be the inside of the lining. This will be what you see on the lining. So now I'm going to take and lay my zipper. Oops. Zipper's going to go down. It's not very flat. I think I'm going to press the ends of the zipper. It's nylon, so I've got to be very careful with it. Just want the edges to lay flat. It's kind of been in a box for a long time. Okay, so this is a hide zipper, by the way. This is the back side of it. The front side, you don't even see the zipper. So it's going to be a little bit more weirder for me to line up, but I'm going to stick my zipper down like this, and I'm going to put some glue on it, on the top side of it. And the glue washes away. I just need it to keep this in place when I put it inside this. Try not to get glue all over yourself. Now I'm going to take this and put this hole over the zipper and line it up nicely into this window. Here, stay there, and there on the glue. Stay on the glue. Ah, no, it's sticking to everything in the whole wide world. Okay, now it is on my zipper, because I don't have any other way to hook it down. Straighten it up a little. That glue is really holding though, so that's a plus. My zipper thingy is out of the way. Everything's flat. And now I'm going to take it, since the zipper is here, I'm going to take and stitch all the way around with the top stitch on this hole that I have open. And my zipper is equally on both sides. And it's stuck with glue, so it should stay. And I'm not changing to a zipper foot. I'm just going to top stitch carefully around this whole entire thing. If I can get it to line up nicely. Don't know what it's getting stuck on. So I'm going to back stitch right here, and I'm top stitching. I'm just using white thread because I don't think I have this color in thread. I don't feel like matching any colors. So I'm going very slow, following the edge. This is a nylon zipper, I think. Pretty sure. Coming to the end right here. I'm going to pivot. Follow this little side edge. I'm actually going to go back stitch on it. I want it to stay really nice. Okay, I'm turning it now. And I'm going down the opposite side of the zipper. And again, I'm not using a zipper foot. I'm just staying away from the zipper, not sewing the zipper itself. But I am going to move the zipper out of the way when I get close so that I can sew this end. So I'm going to open the zipper up out of the way and then finish the sewing the rest of the way around. Right here, pivot, keeping the zipper thing together. I'm going to go down and back twice. There we go. One more stitch. Where's my little snips? My little snips. Where's my little? Get rid of this little extra thread right here. Pivot one more time. And back stitch. There, I have attached a zipper that works. Oh, look at that. I have a zipper that works. Now let's turn it into a pouch. I did it, guys. There's zipper. Now let's just make sure this whole pouch thing works. All right, so I'm going to flip it over now. And I'm going to take this bottom part up to the top right here. And now I'm going to sew all the way around. I don't have to sew the bottom, though. I just need to sew down each side and across the top of this that I left open. And you probably might want to have a little bit more fabric than this, but I didn't even measure this. We just kind of threw it on. So it's my little, not really measured project, but I'm going to sew across this top. And I'm just going to fold this out of the way for now. Sew across this with a 1/4 inch seam and then sew down the two sides, and I'll fold everything out of the way for that as well. So I might be onto something here, guys. I might actually know what I'm doing. At least for a zipper pocket. Alright, now I'm going to fold this back on the sides out of my way. And I'm going to sew my side right here. And then down this whole side. I'm just going to sew right over the edge of the zipper that's hanging off, and I'll trim that off in a minute when I'm finished. That way it's ultra super held in. Back stitch there at the bottom. I'm going to fold everything out of the way on this side now. And sew this side. So this pocket area is now complete, and it was, oh my goodness, let's see, so we can have the measurements down in numbers. The zipper was 10 inches. The zipper pocket part that I just sewn was 11 inches, but I think you guys should do 12 inches on this bag because it's 14 by 15 3/4. So I would say do a 12-inch piece in here and just center it with everything. And then length, it was 14 inches long. So now there's a pocket in here that is openable. And look, there is a pocket. Look at, I did it, guys. Yay! Yay me. So I have a little pocket on this side. Now that works with a zipper. Yay, I did it. Now I need to make the other side, which is going to have slip pockets. So let's throw that out of the way. Let's work with this side now, which is going to have slip pockets. So let's do 1, 2. No, I don't want that. Let's do a 4-patch. This one, let's get rid of this one. Yep, let's do a 4-patch slip pocket. That'll go good. 4-patch slip pocket. So, see how I just make things up as I go? So I'm going to sew this together, make a 4-patch slip pocket, except I'm going to use some more background fabric to put inside the back side of the pocket. So these are right sides together, making a little 4-patch. Wait, somebody new? Who's new? Hi, Joanne. Welcome. Nice to have a new face. All right, so right sides together. Oh, whoa. No, no, no. That's not going to work. My tension is off. I have severe tangling going on here. Give me 2 seconds to rethread my machine. I'll resew those little seams. Which one did it get off on? Both of these? Nope. Nope. So it's just this one. Sometimes, if you go too fast, which is what I do, sometimes it happens more than sometimes. If you go too fast, you can knock your tension out just because you went too fast and it tangles on your up and down chingamabobber. The word is not coming to me at the moment. The thread thingamabobber. The thread thingamabobber. Exactly. All right. Okay. Much better. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Now, right sides together. I have a bad habit of taking off too fast. And you know, I don't do that in the car, though. I like to do it with sewing. I used to do it in the car. But I don't have a lead foot anymore. Only for sewing. All right, I'm going to press this real quick. And then we're going to trim it and cut a piece for the inner side of it. And I think I have a random idea that might be a little bit of fun. So give me 2 seconds because I just came up with a random idea while I was looking at it. How about a slip pocket with a pocket inside of it? Because I have one more piece of fabric left, right? So we're going to make the back part of that slip pocket, right? Just the same as I've made any back part of a slip pocket. But I'm also going to take and put a slip pocket in a slip pocket. Watch this. So we're going to cut out this for this last 5-inch square. I'm not even going to use a ruler. I'm just going to cut it out like so. And then I need something as 9.5 inches because that's what about this would be is 9.5, and we're gonna look anyway. It's 9 3/4 by 9 3/4. Unfortunately, that just because they're crooked and wonky, and I need to cut another piece, and anything left over I can use to make straps. So this is when I make things up as I go. A slip pocket with a slip pocket. Isn't that just a great idea? So we're going to make the back of this real quick. And I think I'm going to nice and straight. Tiffany, like playing charades with my husband, trying to figure out what you're saying. Alright, so that's going to be the one pocket. Let's open this up for the other one, because it needs an inside that matches the thingamabobber. I'm going to trim that all up in a second. First of all, let's close this one up. So I'm just going to put this right sides together real quick. So all the way around and leave an opening. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Oh, let me trim my corners off first. Up to the stitching. Why do I always forget this part? So I'm going to go up to the stitching, just cutting the little corners off so that it lays nice and flat when I press it. Okay, now when I say trimming the corners, I'm cutting it up to the stitching line. So here's the stitching line. I'm cutting up to it so that when I flip it, the corner lays nice and flat. So I'm just going to flip these, push that out really good, use my finger, grab this little corner here, nice and square. This is going to be cool, a slip pocket in a slip pocket. Oops, and that whole end came undone, go figure. So I'm just going to go press it real quick, folding it under the 1/4 inch, keeping that corner nice and flip. I'll be right back in the screen. Let me just press this real quick. And then I'll create the other side of the pocket. This is going to be cool, a slip pocket within a slip pocket. I'm going to love it. It's like a hidden pocket. Pull out this little corner. I have a little boo-boo in my corner right here, so I'm just going to pluck that out real quick before I come back in the screen. All right, so now I'm going to seal the opening on this slip pocket. 1/8 inch. Like so. Okay, so here's one pocket. Let's finish making this pocket. So I'm going to line this up and trim the whole entire thing real quick. I don't know how big it's going to be. I'm just trimming it. I'm using the lines on the ruler. And I'll tell you in a second what all of these are. It's going to be an off size because I'm cutting two sides differently so that the pocket's a little bit wider. So it is 9.5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is 9 by 9.5. So this is my width. I want this width right here to stay width. So I'm actually going to put a little mark on here so that I know that this is my width. So now I'm going to put it right sides together. And I'm going to sew it all the way around and leave an opening to turn it because it's a slip pocket. So let's just start with the little opening. That's my top. I'll just remember that that's my width. Wherever my opening is going to be my width. So I'm just sewing a 1/4 inch seam all the way around, except for I'm leaving an opening. And come in just a little bit, back stitch, and now I'm going to cut my corners right up to the stitching, but not the stitching. That way it lays flat. I have the shakes too bad, so I'm guessing I have to keep using my scissors along the table like this. All right, so I'm going to find my opening and pull it through. Should have sewed my back pocket on before I did that. Now I just thought about it. But that's okay, because I'll just put this on the other side. That's all. Pocket within a pocket. So I'm going to reach in with my hand to poke these out with my finger. So they're nice and flat. If it doesn't work with your finger, grab a little pokey thingamabobber. It's not coming out good. And that pokey thingamabobber sucks. Good night, Pamela. There we go. My finger works better. The pokey thing is just going to tear my seams. All right. Everything's flat. I'm going to go press my opening closed. We're going to make a pocket within a pocket. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, so I'm just folding my seam. I'm telling you what I'm doing from across the room over at the ironing board. Closing my seam up right here. To the edge. There, stay, and stay. This would be one cool purse. Now I'm just pressing my pocket all the way around, making sure that it's nice and flat. Okay, that looks good to me. Nice and flat. I'm going to seal my opening, which will help me know what is the top and what is the bottom. I'm just going to go across the whole bottom with 1/8 of an inch seam. My wife is going to bed. Be right back. Okay, Jim. Tell her good night. Turn this off. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take my piece right here. I'm going to start with this pocket. And I'm going to come down because this is a pocket within a pocket. Let's use this one because it's not so big. This one is going to be center, so we're going to have this one on top of it, like so. Let me use a pen real quick. My little edge pressed in, unfortunately. Sometimes that happens, so I'm just going to use a pin to pop it back out. I don't know how that happened. Press it real quick. That iron must have took it in because that's how it does it. Okay. So let's put it about right here. Let's see how far down this is. So I'm going to have it 5 inches down. Okay. And then 4 3/4 that way. 4 3/4 that way. Look at that. I have this thing centered. So now I'm just going to take a pin, pop it in here, just one pin, and I'm going to sew down the 2 sides and across the bottom on my stitching line that I closed my pocket with. Oops, it'd be nice to move my little magnet out of the way. Making sure, stitch down, the back stitch at the top, slowly sew down to the bottom. Back stitch, I'm going to sew across that line that I've already sewn on when I sealed my pocket, and then come up the other side. Back stitch at the top, pull my pin out. So now I have one pocket right here. Snip this away. And that's the top of the pocket, so make sure you don't lose the top of the pocket, because now we're going to take the bottom of this and we're going to place it right on top of that pocket. Now this one is going to get centered. And it's measured down 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 1/2. That's good. All the way across. Let's pull that down just a little. Now let's look at the sides. 2 1/2 that way, 2 1/2 that way. So perfect. 3 1/2 inches down, 2 1/2 inches on each side visibility. And inside that is another pocket. So this is a pocket within a pocket. All right, so now I'm going to sew the 2 sides, and then across the bottom that I already sewn. So now I'm going to stick a pin in this, 2 pins actually. I'm so excited that I did a zipper that now I'm like making all sorts of coolness for this bag. All right, so now I'm going to sew down the 2 sides and across the bottom. Everything is nice in the line. I will back stitch right here at the top, sewing 1/8 of an inch. Pull any threads out of the way. I don't want to sew any extra threads that don't need to be there in it. So right to this bottom. Then I'm going to sew on that stitch line. And back stitch just so my corners are nice and tacked down. Sewing across the bottom. Back stitch right here at the end. Pivot. And then sew anything an inch down this side. Back stitch. And then I'll stitch right here at the top. And now my pocket and pocket, my 2 slip pockets, are now complete. So here is a pocket with another pocket inside. So I used every single piece of all 21 pieces of that charm pack now. So I have no more pieces of the charm pack. Everything else is just going to be background colors, which will be my straps. So now that my lining is done and my lining with my zipper pocket is done, those I'm just going to set aside for now because I don't need them. And now we're going to work on quilting the back. So we're going to do 2 different pieces. So the back is going to get its own batting, and I think I'm going to go without the interfacing on this one and just use my poly blends for a quilt to quilt with, and then I'm going to quilt these 2 pieces separately also. So this will be the front piece. One will be quilted separately, and this one will be quilted separately. So it'll be nice and thick, but it's still going to be turned into pockets. So, oh, and that one's going to need, when it's quilted, it's going to need a piece with it that matches the folds over. Okay, now I know. All right, so now we're going to cut myself some of my junk, which I'm squeezing by to grab. Let's See if I even have enough of it. I think I do. This is what I use to quilt with because it's on the inside of the purse. It's just a polyester. It's a 60-40 cotton poly blend. So I'm just going to cut it about size, grab some batting for this, and then quilt this. Now let's put these other two pieces on here, get their size. I should be able to get them all from this fabric. And then another one will be this. Yeah, so I'll have plenty. So put some batting in that, and then this one will get its own. I'm not going to put that way. Nope. So this one will get its own, and then we'll trim everything right after. So let's quilt this. I'm just going to do straight line quilting because I think it'll look fun. I'm not going to do anything special and fancy, but we do need to cut some batting, which I brought out my big, huge batting bag. Now let's see if this is enough. Almost, but not enough. Let me grab a wider piece. That's enough to do a whole quilt. My goodness, I'm not going to use that. I'll be in the screen in a second, guys. I'm digging through batting. I have a big, huge bag of tons and tons of batting. Ah, here we go. This should be enough. Yep, plenty. Alright, so here's one batting. There's its can't bend all the way to the floor yet, so I'm using my feet. Alright, and then this piece needs some batting. I think when I get a little bit more purses made, then I'll start working with the interfacing and stuff like that. For now, I'm just going to do it the way I've always done it with batting. Okay, so let's just roll that out of the way for a second and cut one more. I got the hiccups now, just randomly. I want this one to be this big. Okay, so there's all my batting pieces. Let's quilt. Hold on a second. I'm going to take my shirt off, my tank top, my sweatshirt off. Oy. Cannot get the words out. I'm starting to sweat in here. Okay, that's not going to work. Hold on, guys. I'm really sweating, but my shirt's kind of see-through, so I don't want you guys seeing through my see-through shirt. That would really make this an adult channel only. All right. Let's lay this down. Put the batting on it. Pull any extra threads out because it's funky and annoying. And I'm just going to stitch straight lines. Same with this one. Everything's nice and flat, laying down. And then let's put this one together. And this is leftover batting from quilting. So there's always thread all over it and stuff. So I kind of got to pick up some of the threads off of it. So I don't want any of those extra threads sticking through. So I'm just going to line this up. And I'm going to stitch straight lines. So I'm going to start with stitching in the ditch. Actually, I'll just stitch in the ditch. And then do my other lines. So I'm not even tacking anything down. I'm just going to start with the ditches first. Across this top. So I did across this top. Now I'm going to sew across the top. Sewing everything nice and flat. So it's tacked down. Everything's nice and flat. Now I'm going to sew down this side and just do straight lines from this seam and down. But I'm going to change my stitch length. I've never put a zipper in. Guess I have to since Tiff can do it. Well, I just did it. Finally, after all this time of having issues with zippers, finally I did one, and it's just a zipper pocket, but it's still, I did something. I'm going to sew down this side first.
What's party?
It's like a starter stay stitch, pretty much.
You need anything?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm going to turn it around and do a stay stitch on this side as well. On this edge. I'm trying to keep everything from puckering, and I want it to stay nice and flat. And I ended up with a little fold right here, accidentally. And everything else is straight lines. Give me 2 seconds to bend down. Oh, you know, it really sucks when you can't bend at your butt. All right. I kept stepping on my pin, that's why. So I'm going to start right here at this top seam and just stitch these 2 pieces first, and then I'll stitch the rest of the way. And I'm going to do the same with those. I'll stitch across here, and then across all these. So it won't be a bunch of stitches. It's just kind of like tacking it down, really. So I'm just going to start right here. Put my needle down in it. Do the back stitch and just stay at that seam. This is the back of the bag, but it doesn't really matter. I am using white thread. I didn't bother going to get a thread that matches. White goes with everything anyway. A few years ago, my daughter's friend needed a bridesmaid dress. Did it in 24 hours. Hated the zipper. Well, let me tell you, I messed up. I posted it in the group. I messed up that bag that I did last night. And then I told Scott, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and buy the fabric and make these bags. Try to put up there. And just see what happens. I'll work my way into zippers, and we're going to order some zippers on Amazon. Because all I have is metal zippers, and I actually didn't know you cannot sew. I watched all these videos, and some of them don't say what kind of zipper, and some of them do. And I saw them sew right over the zipper, but when I went to do it last night, yeah, no, can't sew over metal zippers. Just doesn't work that way. Even with a wide stitch length. All right, so I got 2 stitches. Now I'm just going to go down the center of each of these. Or at least what I think is center. So there's not a whole lot of quilting. So it'll be separating it into each one like this is. There'll be enough stitching on this and then stitching on that. So it should match up and look fine. Oh, and I still have to sew across these side seams, though. Which I haven't done yet. So I will in a minute. Get the center right here. I'm not using walking foot either. I'm just sewing. As long as you are not, like, putting a ton of stitches, sometimes you don't really need the walking foot. I'm just kind of... I made my stitch length a lot bigger. All right, and now I'm going to add these 2 seams across. That way everything's nice and tacked down. And there should be no problems with this purse or bag or whatever you want to call it. And it looks super puckery because I used a thicker batting. If I would have dug in my bag further, I probably would have found the more lightweight batting. But I use a really big one, and that's just what's on top. All right, so let's trim all this up. Trying to make this part go faster. All right, so I stitched across here. I stitched across here, across this seam, down this seam, down this seam, and then in the middle of both. So if you look from the back side, you can see it's like a bunch of little pillows. So it's really thick. So now I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to stitch across this, stitch across this, and then stitch all the way down off. Even though there's no lines down here, I still want this quilted down here. And then I'll trim everything to size. Same with this. I'll stitch on this one, those two seams, and then in every single one of these. Except these I'm taking all the way down. So it should work. I'm also going to stitch down the sides and to hold everything nice and flush so that it doesn't shift. So that'll be my starter. Since I didn't pin or spray baste anything, everything's just being sewn as is. Nice and flat. These are just stay stitches on the sides, and I'm going to go across the top and then do all the seams. I'm using a wider stitch length. Come on. So I got some puckering happening right here. If I slowed myself down, it wouldn't be so bad. Good night, Linda. Saying good night to my friend, and I'm going tired. Be back tomorrow night, everyone. All right, Joanne. All right, so now I'm going to stitch down these seams here first, from side to side. Pay attention. Maybe if I slow myself down ever so slightly, I wouldn't have as much puckering at the end. Just turn this around, stitch in this stitch. Now, sew down all these. I'm going to start in the middle. Right here. Take a back stitch. And I'm going beyond the line and just going to stitch as straight down as I possibly can. Come back to the next one. So on and so forth. I'm putting my needle down at the top because I don't want no stitching up in that top piece. Come down to the bottom. Go straight down. This one. Maybe back stitch. Straight down. And this one. Straight down. Now these last two. Straight down. one is now done. Snip all these threads. Okay, so this one is now stitched in all that, and I just took the stitching all the way down. Now this little front piece, same exact method. Everything's nice and flush. There we go, right there. And stitch down these two sides first on the seams. Turn it around, get this one. My hair is blowing in my face. Sometimes it gets so annoying. Who all we got left? Who's all still here? Watching me make madness. Alright, now I'm going to stitch to seal this one and seal the sides. And then I'll sew in the grooves. Jim's still here. Teresa's still here, it looks like. Okay, I'm sewing my sides. And I'm going to start sewing the seam only in this section. I'm not sewing onto the background color or the purse accent color, I guess. So I'll take a back stitch here, and at the end, I'm sewing in the ditch. Start from the top, just sewing in the ditch. One of these times I should make a project using the walking foot and see how much of a difference it really is. Because I don't pin and I didn't spray base, so everything's kind of wonky and contorted. I think that gives it a little bit more authenticity because it's like super funky. And I did make this whole thing up as I went, as you can tell. Having fun with it. I'm really happy about the zipper, though. I'm glad I was able to finally do a zipper. And also that pocket within a pocket. That's super, super duper cool. And one more right here, and then I'll seal the side off. Turn it around, seal the side. Janet's still here, but closed everything out when I went to say I was here. That's okay. Shoot happens. Shoot happens. How funny. Alright, so I'm going to snip all these threads off real quick. So I don't need this big thread mess. And then we're going to trim all of these and start assembling the whole thing. But we still need to make straps, which I will do as soon as I mostly assemble everything. So let me close this. We're going to start by trimming everything up. Going to get my machine and spring. Hope to get walking foot one for my machine now costs $50. What? Yeah, that's outrageous. I'm glad mine came with both of my machines. My old machines, it didn't come with a walking foot. Where did I put my... Aha, found it. All right, so I'm going to trim all this up now. I'm just going to throw everything on the floor because that's what I've been doing, and then CJ can come in and clean it all up. So this section right here is 8.5 inches. This little front part should be 14 inches wide. Line all this up and make sure everything, because it shifted when I quilted it ever so slightly, but it should be 8.5 by 14. This little section. Okay. Now that's the front part of the pocket. And I totally just thought about this. Why did I do that? This is supposed to have that brown, the tan color on it also. I could just stitch this on and flip it because it's supposed to have the tan color on the inside of this. Why did I do that? So I'm going to stitch this on as soon as I'm done with everything because I totally forgot that. I'm a retard, I know. Actually, no, I could just fold over the top. That's what I can do. I can stitch it on, fold it over the top. So I'm going to stitch this on, right sides together, and then I'm going to fold it back onto itself, creating like a whatever. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I knew I was like messing something up. So I'm just sewing a 1/4 inch seam. Now, when I flip it like this, I should be able to press this down and then stitch the top. So give me a second to press this over. It should press just fine. I knew I was forgetting something, guys. It's a good thing I remembered that, or else I would have had a really big mess of pocket right here. I'm folding it in half, and I'll show you what I did in a second. Let me just get it on. It's nice and folded. So I folded it over so it's on the back side, and I'm going to trim it to this size now. Move the big one out of the way. Now we're in 38. Oh, I haven't even been on that long. I thought it feels like it's been forever. Let's trim this to the sides. That side's straight in line. This side's not. There we go. So now I'm going to take the side because I pressed it so it's stitched over like so. And I folded it over. So I stitched to the right side, folded it to the back, and now I'm going to, I pressed it, and now I'm going to top stitch right here. I'm actually just going to top stitch a 1/4 inch away so it looks more decorative, I guess. So I'm just going to line my foot up as the guide. And I'm going to back stitch right here at the beginning. I'm also going to loosen this a little. I'm going to stitch nicely across this whole top, sealing this off. Nicely sealed. It's like a decorative stitch all the way across the top, like that. So now it's a nice stitch across the top. So now that is on the back. Hi, Lynn. I am okay-ish. My butt still hurts, can't sit, but I shall be fine. So I'm pressing the back of that real quick and pulling extra thread. Okay, so this is done. We're going to put that aside. Move all this mess out of the way. We're going to trim now. This is the bottom of the front for the pocket. So now I'm going to trim this up. And this is 14 wide by 15 3/4 inch long. Now that it's quilted, it's probably 15 1/2 long, but it's a nice size bag. So I'm just going to trim all this off all the way around. Yep, I'm just throwing it on the floor. You know, I think all of the people, the video makers, just throw their stuff on the floor because I've watched it. Even Missouri Star Quilt Company, Jenny, she just tosses it on the floor next to her. She wipes the stuff down on the floor. And then someone comes in and cleans it all up when they're done. Or they clean it up themselves, but either way. And bottom. I'm still using the lines on the ruler to make sure everything is nice and straight and flush as well, because I want everything to stay lined up. So now that that's trimmed, this piece, it's still open, by the way. I'm going to lay it on here, just like this, at the bottom, like so, and it should line up right at the bottom of this, along here. And now I'm going to stitch a line down the center, creating 2 pockets. And then I'm going to sew across the bottom. And then we'll finish trimming the rest of the pieces up. So I'm going to sew from the center down first. So I'm just going to guesstimate the center, and I'm going to start my needle at that top stitch line where I just stitched down 1/4 inch. So I'm going to start it right there. I'm going to take a nice good back stitch right there, make it look nice and clean. And now I'm going to sew down to the bottom, creating a pocket. Now I'm going to sew across the bottom. Probably, I have a tub on this side and a tub on that side, but I never make it. When I have this much mess going on, it always ends up on the floor. There's my little snipper. So I'm going to snip this now, and now I'm going to sew across the bottom. All the way to the other side, not shifting anything. Everything's staying. And I'm going to leave the sides open for now. So what I will have is 2 sides open, but when they're sewn down, it will create 2 pockets right here on the front of the purse. Actually, I'm just going to sew those down anyway. Screw it. I'm going to sew them now. Last time I didn't. I left them open, but just because, I'm going to sew them now. Oh, and it would help if I still had bobbin left. My nose is really... I took some sinus meds, too, before coming on, and I still seem to be getting worse by the moment. I could hear it in my voice, even, and, like, the stuffiness. Okay, I'm going to trim off all this excess from where I ran out. Back stitch right here at the top. Come over to this side, stitch this side. Back stitch, just holding it down until I stitch the whole thing together. Okay, so now I have a front part of my bag with 2 pockets. I know they seem low, right? They seem really low, but it'll look cool when I'm done. So that's the back of the front of the bag. Let's do the back now. We're just trimming it up. Again, it should be the original before quilting size was 14 by 15 3/4. It was a 3-inch strip on the top originally. This piece on both the front and the back. There's some puckering going on right there, but we're going to make sure that everything is nice and aligned. I'll make sure that comes out when I do my final piecing of the bag. Everything should line up. And I still have to make my straps real quick too. So it's 14 wide by 15 3/4. My little pocket pouch, I don't remember what I said, but I have already said it in the video. So it was like 14 by 8 3.5 inches. That's what it was, yes. And then I flipped my back piece over. So that's all done. So here is the front and the back. They should be exactly the same, and they are. And now I'm going to put them aside because I'm going to make some straps. And since this is a really tall bag, I want my straps to come from down here in it. And I want them to look cool. So let's see. Let's just use fresh fabric for this. We're going to cut some strips. And I think I'm going to start with 3.5 inch. I'm going to cut 3.5 inch strips. I'm going to cut 2 of them. We're going to end up seeing how long this ends up. And this is where I'm going to use some interfacing. And let me press this real quick. I'll be right back because this is kind of funky. So I'm going to cut 2 3.5 inch strips off of here. Let's put this on a line, straighten this up. I'm going to cut 2 3.5 inch strips because we're going to see something here. We're going to make this really long, and I'll just adjust and whatever. And this is where I'll use no, maybe I'll just use batting like last time. I don't know, it looked better with batting, I think. I don't care. Let's just cut 3.5 inch strips to start. 1, 2, 3.5 is already on this side. So we're going to cut 3.5. No. I want it to be kind of wide. And if I fold that in half, it's only going to end up 1.25 inches wide. So let's cut 4 inches. 4 inch. I'm cutting 4 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip my ruler around. I'm going to cut 2 4 inch strips for my handles. That's better. Better number. The bigger, the better. I don't have any D rings or anything, for all this stuff, so I'm just going to make it my way. All right. So now we're going to use the whole width of the strip. Yes, I think that'd be perfect. Look at that. I could just use the full width of the strip, and most of it will come into the bag because I'm going farther down onto the bag. So now I'm going to go over, press this whole thing in half, and then I'm going to open it up and press half in and half in. So let me take you over to the ironing board and let's do this. Who else sews while on vacation? I did. I probably would. We've been trying to find a cruise to go on, and the cruise we want to be I was hoping a sewing cruise, but I don't think that's going to happen due to the fact that those are so expensive. And I don't know, do people actually bring their sewing machine on a cruise ship if you were just going on a cruise? I don't know. I think I would rather enjoy the cruise instead of sewing. But I would go stir crazy. I know that. Okay, so I'm going to press these first. Now I'm going to press them in half to create a line, just like as if you were doing binding in a way. Press them in half. Let's press this one in half. It's really easy to press the wider the strip, the easier it is to press them in half. Okay. And then open it up and press the half at the bottom into the half, and then do the same with the top part. So pressing it into the center, like so. And then I'll turn it around and press the other part into the center. I'll press this next side into the center. And I'm going to make this thick with some batting in it. So it's going to be double folded with batting in it. So it'll be nice thick handles. I probably should have done the interfacing thing. And now the half gets folded in half like this. But I'm going to just repress it real quick because I'm going to open it up and throw some batting inside of it. Or I can just not, because it seems, I don't know, I'm going to put batting in it. I like the idea of the batting in it. It'll double its thickness. Alright, so again, I'm folding it up towards the center. And obviously I'm doing these handles different than the last time because, like I said, I've watched over 50 purse making videos, especially the zipper ones. And they all have different, ways of doing things, but some of them I picked up, and since this is totally different than my normal quilt making, I can pick up other people's techniques, I guess. Try different things until something works for me. So for now, this is what I'm doing. Okay, so that's folded up to the center. And again, fold it in half, give it a nice press again. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is find out how big this is in here. I'm going to measure this. I'm going to throw a piece of batting in it and then fold it over with that batting in it. So let me take one over here and we're going to cut some batting. Makes your handles nice and firm. Do you have any SF101? What is SF101? Okay, so that's about 2 inches. So let's cut some. I need a longer strip of batting. Oh, ow. Let's see if this is as long as the handle. It is. Almost. So I'm going to fold this in half. Use a nice straight edge. And I'm going to cut. Not with this ruler, because that would get stuck to the bag. I'm going to trim this nice and straight. I'm going to come over right here about 2 inches, maybe just shy of 2 inches. Like that. Do it again. Come over 2 inches, maybe just shy of 2 inches. Just hardly. I want to make sure it fits perfectly in there. Oh, let's cut one more because I need to make sure I have enough to fill all the way to the end. Okay. Let's throw the batting out of the way. I'm going to bring this over here like so. Woven Fuse, it's a stabilizer for cotton fabric. I bought some fusible stuff today at the store. Alright. Let's put this in here like so. Open it up, throw it in like this, like this, like this. All the way down and cut a little small piece at the end right here. About that much. Throw it in there. Butting it up right there. And you know, I should have folded these ends in. Should have, but I didn't because I might have to trim off anyway. So now I can just fold all this in here and stitch it down. So this one is in here. We'll fold it and stitch it in a second. Let's put the other one in. Open this up. Open this up. Stay. Can't tell fabric to stay, guys. Doesn't really work that well. You didn't have to stick the batting in the strap. I like the batting in the strap, though. I mean, I could probably, it would be nice to not have to do it, but I think it makes it a nice plush strap on my shoulders, you know, or whoever's shoulders it might be for. All right, let's cut one more little piece this big, right there, butt it right up, nicely butted up, and then keep this aside. And now I'm going to come over here, take this whole entire thing, fold it in half, and I have some clips. Actually, I'm going to do it from this angle because that way I can hold it at the same time. I'm going to put some of my binding clips to hold it over. Ooh, this could be a nice handle. Binding clips work. Hold this together so that I can stitch it nicely. It's a good thing I have a whole ton of them. I had to use them last night, so I just left them on the table for today. Usually don't clip or pin anything, you know. But I'm trying to be a little bit more accurate on the things I'm doing here. Finish folding the rest of the way down. Nicely fold over. Flip it. Fold it over. Flip it. So even though I don't use the stuff often, at least I have it for when I do use these things. These little clips. Okay, that one's pinned or hooked. And let's just do this one while I'm right here. Start right here in the middle. Just go the rest of the way. Very nice thick straps. That's the way Tiffy likes them. Nice and thick. Hold on, I'm hitting 2 hours. But I'm almost done, so now I just need to get these straps on and assemble the bag and be done. So it can be done, guys. It can be done. Now, if I was going to be using those strap adjuster thingamabobbers and D-rings, I don't think I probably would have put this thick of a batting amount in it, you know? But since I'm just sewing these directly on to the purse bag itself, because I don't even have pins or clamps or anything to hold the purse together, so I would need to get myself some snaps, but for purses. I haven't done any of that yet. All right, so let's sew down this now. I'm going to sew the side closed that's pinned 1/8 of an inch seam from one side all the way to the other. And I'm just going to take my sweet little time here and back stitch, and I'm just going to move the these as I go. Trying to keep it ooh, that looks so good. Might want to speed myself up. I think I have more accuracy the faster I go. Keeping this 1/8 of an inch seam. Hold on, I missed the spot right here. Back stitch. Just come over it, meet up with my other side stitching. There, you can't tell. Where do I keep it? Oh, there they are. Hiding over here. Sometimes I mess up. Okay. Come in right here, back stitch, and then finish going. Good thing I noticed that right then and there. The other side should go even faster because that side doesn't really. This is the side I'm making sure it's closed first. Alright, so one side of my strap is sewn all the way down. And I'm just going to flip it around. Snip off my threads on this side. They're sticking out. And I am using a pretty thick, wide stitch length. Not wide, but long. It's at 3, well, it's at 2.9 is what it would be if it was on a numbered machine. All right, now just zoom down the other side. I'm holding the piece so that I can stay in 1/8 of an inch the whole entire way. I'm literally holding it with the end of my hand. And check that out. You see my stitching? So it's 1/8 of an inch on both sides, consistently all the way down, and it's a nice thick. It's nice. I would have this that feel great on my shoulder. So it's thick, so it's gonna also turn a bit. Whatever though. Okay, so let's do this next one. Sewing from the top. Let's seal it first. And somehow my phone is going to die. Cyrus! Can you get my phone charger, please? Just put it on something so I don't have to bend to the floor. I'll just throw it on the floor. Bring the whole thing because I don't have a USB port in here. That way you don't have to be on camera. Thank you. Sorry, I gotta put my phone on charge, guys. No, that's kind of screwy. Oh, no. Oh, ugh. Let's have a chair to lean over. Okay. Sorry if I'm killing everybody's phones. I'm killing mine. So I know I'm killing your guys's. Gotta fix a little spot. I want to make sure it grabs everything, and I cannot see both sides perfectly. But you would never know that I just did that as long as I trim my thread. It's because it's so thick, you know. It's it'll shift ever so slightly if you're not holding it right, you know, because there's batting in here. But I like this. I like this, the look of it, the style, the feel. And like I said, everybody does their stuff differently. So I'm just going to go down real quick since I did it on both straps accidentally, but I caught it the first time. So, okay, now I'm going to just nicely sew. I'm actually going to put it under the machine at 1/8 of an inch, and I'm holding this and this like both ways so that I can go really fast. So down it and keep that 1/8 of an inch the whole time. And it accidentally went off. Look at that. Catch myself again. All right. Mine's screaming, please plug me in. Yeah. All right. So now I have my two long straps. Don't need these anymore. Why? Because I don't need them. I need to trim in away any extra threads, which seems to happen when I started and stopped real quick. So again, stitching. Can you see that? It's pretty wide stitching all the way, both sides, all the way down. Okay, so now let's skip my purse pieces and start assembling. I'm going to start by putting these two pieces right sides together, and actually we're going to start by right sides together first. We're going to cut out the bottom because I saw this technique in the videos for putting the square in the bottom, you know, the little bottom corner to make the bag flat or whatever. I saw in a video they pre-cut it out, so I'm actually going to pre-cut that out too because I think it might just be easier so that I don't have to measure afterwards. And I'm going to go in 2 inches. So I'm going to do this side 2 inches, and then I'll do this side 2 inches, and I just remember 2 inches for my lining as well. That doesn't seem wide enough at the bottom. Let's do 2.5. I want a really wide bottom because this is a really wide purse. So we're going to put this on 2.5, 2.5. Keep knocking this out of my way. I'm going to just cut it out like this. I probably could have marked it and cut with scissors, but instead I used my rotary cutter. There we go. 2.5. So now 2.5, 2.5, like this. Come right to it. Use my scissors to get that last little piece out. I didn't want to go fat higher with my rotary cutter than my allotted little piece here. I was just going to cut these off anyway, so might as well do it now. There we go. All right, those are gone. Now, the right sides together, and sew down the sides and across the bottom. And like I said, I saw this in a video, and then this gets folded. So yeah, I'm going to do the sides and then the bottom with a, I don't know, 1/2 inch seam, something like that. I think it's like half. Oops, half. We'll come down this side. Oops, don't adjust to me. Hold it at the bottom. So about 1/2 inch seam. Now I'm going to close the bottom. So across this bottom, 1/2 inch seam. This is a very thick bag right here at this bottom because there's a lot of extra layers. Now I'm going to open this up. Hold on, let's see. That's the right side. And I'm going to, now I don't have to measure anything. I just open this up, nest my seams right here. I kind of like this, that the lady did this way in the one video I watched. Now I'm going to sew across this, boxing my corner. So it lines right up. Hi, Sue. All right, so now I'm going to sew this with like a 1/2 inch seam all the way across, boxing my corners. And there's a lot of thickness right here. I'm going to go over it one more time because it's so thick, very, very thick. Double stitch that. And that boxed corner is done. Now let's do this one. Oh, and I'm also making sure that my front lining is sitting. So I'm essentially, so you can see the right sides together on this one and right sides together on this one. Because remember, there's 2 pieces now from that front little pocket. Do not sew your piece together with the front pocket exposed. You want it to be pulled where right sides are together. I needed to make sure that you guys knew that, because if not, then you're going to be sewing your boxed corner wrong. And you want it to sit at a certain spot. So and at this point with this purse, I probably should be using a jeans needle, but I am not. But that's why I am sewing twice, just to be on the safe side. But I don't feel like changing my needles out just to make a bag. So here's my boxed bottom. Let's make sure everything looks correct by flipping it right sides. Ooh, this is a cute bag. And it has little lower pockets on the front. It's going to be so adorable. Look at that. Looks to be laying nice and flat to me. Let's see, there's the back so far. It's going to be a cute little bag. My little front pockets. They're low, so I mean, I don't know. It looks okay to me. All right, so now we need to figure out straps. And like I said, I cut them super long because I want them to come down in. Kind of actually think it would look cool going all the way across this whole seam right there and then coming up like that on the front. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to square this end up on all of these, making these straps all the same length. Let's see how long it would be when I do that. Hold on, let's put some clips on it real quick to see if I was to put this down at that junction. Let's see how long it would be. Put that down at that junction. I'm still going to trim the edges too, so we're just going to get a general idea here. So it would be, oh yeah, that's plenty. Plenty. Okay. I like that. Let's do that. Let's make them both the same exact length, and I'm going to sew them down into that piece. And I can do it with the bag already have been done. We're going to make it work. Why? Because I can. Let's fold this exactly right there to exactly right here. 21. That's 42 inch. So this is now 42 inches. Let's make this one 42 inches also. And then I still got to fold the end up, so I will fold it up to right there. Put this on here. Cut it right there. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this end up right here and stitch it because it's a raw edge and I want to hide it. So, but you'll see. I will be figuring this out. I'm just going to fold it up like 1/4 inch. This is going to be okay. This is going to work. Come across it one more time. Come across it one more time. Do the same on the other end. Making sure I'm folding them both the same exact way. Just hiding my raw edge. Because you'll see what I'm doing here. I know I shouldn't have done this. I should have folded one end in, but it'll be fine. It will work. It's the same with this one. Hold it up, just like that. It'll be hidden, that's for sure. Fold this one up. Next time I know better, and I'll just fold and seal my ends when I'm at the ironing and stitching process. I should have done that in the first place, but okay. Now we're going to make this exact so that it works perfect here. I'm going to fold this up. No, because that would be for a loop one. We're going to come up 1 inch and create a little like sewing fold. Actually, let's do 1.5 inch because that gives me plenty of space to hide the seam thing. I know I don't have no holding things and stuff like in the videos, but I'm going to come up 1.5 inches. Pull this out. Still sitting at 1.5. I'm going to put a pin in it and leave it. I'm going to do it on all of these. So let's come up 1.5, 1.5. Why does that not look like it? I landed on 1.5. It's best to just stick the ruler in and then pull the ruler out when it's where it's supposed to be exact. Put this on here. Do the same with these two. And you'll see what I'm doing in a second. I'm hiding this because I did not sew it accurately, you know. So I'm hiding the little seam that I made. But it'll look cool. Because it will look cool. Remember, this is just me messing around anyway, so next time I won't do my straps this way. Okay, so now I'm going to, now that I folded them, I'm going to stitch down here, stitch up here, and stitch down the sides to seal it off and make it look really clean, I guess is the word for it. So I'm going to start with the bottom. This is a lot to sew through, but I'm going to do it anyway. Go across it one more time. Now I'm going to remove my binding clip and stitch across the top. And same with this one. And I broke a needle. Go figure. I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. Let me go grab a different needle. Oh, there it is. Jeans. Jeans are 90-14s, aren't they? Most of them? Anybody know that for me? Tell me. That's not going to work. This better be the right size, because I have no idea. Remember, I don't sew anything but quilts, so I wouldn't know. All right, let's see. The only thing about this machine when you change out the needle is I never tighten it down until after I've put it through the hole, because it actually never aligns with the hole properly. And then once I know it goes in the hole properly, then I tighten it. All right, let's make sure this is the right size needle before I break another one. Okay. Sewing nicely for me. Good enough. Okay. Did I do both already? Oh, that's the side it broke on. Sorry, guys, I have to get up at 5:30. All right, Linda, I'm almost done. Just gotta get these attached, and then I'll be done. I made a big thread mess right here. Doesn't look as cleaned up as I would like it. All right, let's sew this one now. Oh, way up here. I've been watching Just Not Chatty today. Oh, that's fine. I'm here, just working on this. Trying to get it done. Next time I know to fold my strap ends under before I stitch it to the purse. Remember, I'm still learning here, guys. And this is a totally different bag. I chose a totally different way to attach. So if I don't like the way it looks, then I will, if I don't like the way this looks, I'm going to pin it and see what it looks like. And if I don't like the way it looks, then I'm just going to attach them at the top of the bag like any other strap. And then all this work in a broken needle will have been for nothing. Okay. Let's see what happens here. So I'm going to, just for now, oops, I'm going to get rid of all that extra thread though. Let's see what it looks like. I might not like it. Stick it to the left of that, or the right of that. I'm just going to put some pins in it and see what it looks like. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to attach it the regular old way. Let's pretend that this is sewn properly. A little to the left of that one. Put a pin in it. I think I'm not going to like this, and I think I just wasted my time, but we'll see. I'm not going to sew anything. Just going to look. So pretend that they're sitting properly down there, right at that edge. I kind of don't like it because of the whole fold thing. I think I'm just going to go ahead and chop them and stick them in the purse. I don't like it. I just wasted my time. I don't like it. If it had like, I don't know. Yeah, that's not going to work. No. If it had like a different style, or if I would have folded that in nicely, I think it would have looked a lot cleaner. So that's not going to happen. see. If I chop those off exactly, the purse will sit. Because I just be cutting off exactly 1.5 inches on both sides. The purse will sit down here. That seems good enough. That seems good enough for me. So I'm just going to sew them in like I would have normally. Like that. Okay. Cut these ends off. Should be equal throughout every single piece. Right there. This one here. Yeah, I should have never did that. But that's okay. I'm going to make this work right now. Line this up. Chop all those off. I learned my lesson. Learn my lesson. They should all be the same size. Bam. Those are off. Now let's just clip these on. And they're going to be long, which is fine by me. It's longer. So I'm going to center them with this seam right here on this. And then I'll put the other ones on the other side according to the other side's thing. I'll line them up. Or on the inside of that seam right there. Everything should line right up. Still love it. So do I. I think it's cute. I just don't like it down there at the bottom. I wasted my time with that, but that's okay. 15 minutes for junk that I didn't use. Okay, so that one's going to go on this side. And this one, all we have to do right there. Make sure this is not tangled. Like this, and then I'm going to match it up with the opposite side and throw a pin in it. Match it up with the opposite side and throw a pin in it. So that should be equal, equal, and equal. Okay. So I'm going to start by stitching this one down. Sewing over them a bazillion times, by the way. Same as I've always done when I did these handles on the other purses too. Oops, why did I do that? That wouldn't be nice to clip, put it in the clips. It looks, it didn't twist anything, okay. Next, this one. I'm just sewing like a little bit beyond 1/4 inch. Back stitching several times. And one more. Leaving the pin in till the very end. Now my nose has decided it wants to run out of my nose. All right, so let's pretend it was together. These are long straps, so this is like the perfect, it's not just for smaller women. A bigger woman would be able to have this, because they have bigger boobs and bodies. So this would be perfect for a bigger woman as well. Just, saying, because smaller women, sometimes a smaller, like clutch size purse fits better underneath our arms. So bigger handles are for more than one style body. type and like for when it comes to purses. So giving women options. So it's, since I chopped those other ends off, it was 44. We took it down to 42. And then I folded those over 1.5 inches and then chopped them off. So they're 2, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37 inches of strap. So that's what I used. All right, now let's put the lining together and get this thing done. It was 2.5 inches is what we cut. Let's make sure my pocket is at the top, my zipper is at the top. We're going to line these up and cut 2.5 inch square off the bottom. Everything's nice and lined up. We're going to cut 2.5 inch square off the bottom. And I can't pick up pins with long nails. Okay. So let's do a 2.5 inch square down here. And then again on the other side. Come right up to it. Literally, just barely. There we go. Cut 2.5 inches off of this side. To the edge. Down. There we go. Now I'm going to sew down the sides and then not in this little square part, and then just a little bit on the bottom. I'm going to leave some of the bottom open, but I'm just going to sew some of it and on each side. So in about, I don't know, 1.5 inches on each side. I'm going to start by sewing the sides. Oops, and it shifted on my way up. And I'm sewing about, I don't know, in between 1/2 and 1/4 inch seam. Trying not to shift anything. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it to the side. Sew down this one. Keeping everything nicely aligned. Most people would pin or use those binding clips. I did not. Now I'm going to come in the bottom, but I'm going to leave a little bit open. I'm going to come to about right here, back stitch, and then come about hands space up here and back stitch, and right off that edge. Then I'm going to box the corner before I do anything. Now it's already there, so I just need to put these right sides. So I'm going to show you since everything's lined up. This right here, seam one way, the other seam the other way. It creates a nice square at the bottom. I like this way better, actually, than the way I've been doing it and chopping it off. So this will probably be how I square the bottom of a purse from now on. Come in about 1/2 inch, almost 1/2 inch. Hold that seam, stitch right on down. That should be good. Now I'm going to come over and do the other side. Again, just going to nest these two seams in the middle. Should line right up. Lay it down. Sew down it. Nesting, coming right across. And, oops, had a little fabric tuck. There we go. So now those are boxed down there at the bottom. So now this goes right side out. My pocket goes inside. Everything is right side out. I have my opening in the bottom, which is not very big, but my hand can fit in it. Now we're going to turn this back inside out. and do the procedure that we always do. This is the first part I actually learned about all this, was how to put the purse together. And this part I haven't forgot. Okay, so all that is in there. My side that has the pockets on is the side I want this pocket on. So I'm going to put my bag in here with my pocket, my slip pocket facing my front pockets, and my zipper facing the back. So the zipper is right here. It is facing the back of the purse, and then my slip pockets is facing the front of the purse. Now, I'm just going to slide this down in here. I'm going to nest this seam from the inside along here, and then this side, and I'm going to sew all the way around with like a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch seam. As long as it's consistent, this should be fine. So I'm just going to lay this on here and just kind of align things as I sew the whole way around, starting at this end right here. I'm going to back stitch. And now I'm just going to make my way around the whole purse. And my seams should come right to each other right here. Everything should line up. I don't think it really matters if the lining goes one way and the other one goes the other, but I'm making it do that. I'm going to back stitch right here at this center point anyway. It's like a weight distribution, I guess, so the sides are really held down. I keep adjusting the purse as I go, or bag, or whatever. Since I didn't pin, just kind of adjusting and sewing. And back to where I started. It seems to be stitched all the way around really nicely. Nicely all the way around. Moment of truth. Here we go. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to reach into my hole. I'm going to put this whole entire thing in my hand and attempt to pull it through the hole. I will get it through here. You know, this is cool too, because this is the third purse I've used this color as my lining and background color. Like this color, Scott thought it was ugly. It doesn't really, didn't think it would go with anything, but it actually has gone with 3 purses already, you know? And everything's been different fabrics. I've not used any of the same, anything. It's all different. Just this color is different. All right. Let's switch the rest of this through. Come on. Come on. Get in the hole. Make sure my straps are untangled, like so. And now, slide the lining in here to make sure everything is nice and fits. And then we'll seal that up and sew all the way around the top. And everything is fitting. Ooh, my pocket within a pocket in here is freaking awesome, guys. Everything's fitting. That sits nicely there. And that sits. Okay, I'm feeling for my little doohickeys down here. Everything's fitting nicely. It's kind of looser than I would want. Unfortunately, I cannot control that because I still think the purse needs, like the lining of purses, even though videos say not, I still think the lining needs to be a 1/4 inch smaller. But when all is done, it should be nice. Everything's in there. My pocket ended up where I wanted it with my zipper on the back side of the purse and my pockets on the front side. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. Ooh, my iron is still on, so I'm going to press this real quick and sew across this whole bottom. You would never know. I'm going to be right back. Sew 1/8 of an inch across this bottom piece. First, I'm going to make sure that it's nicely pressed all the way across. And I always just sew the whole seam. To me, it seems easier to just sew from one side of the bottom to the other. I'm just going to hold it. So from one side to the other, sealing that seam. We'll slide it back into the purse. Snip any loose threads while I'm at it. Slide it back into the purse. I have thread everywhere. I guess I'll do that final thread trim after I'm done making this video. Because there's just too many. They're coming out of the seams. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take and just roll with my fingers for now around this whole top edge, pushing my lining in there, and I'm going to take it over to the iron real quick and just give it a quick press because I don't have zippers or anything up here, so it doesn't really matter. But I do want it to lay flush to where my seam is right at the top. So I'm just going to quickly turn this so that you can watch. Just going to move the straps up, pushing the lining in, use my fingers to make everything as nice and flush. Just take the iron to it, turn the bag a little, just using my fingers and the iron to flatten this out, just to push that lining in a little bit more better. And one more little side right here. And then I'm going to top stitch this whole entire thing. Again, with the same color thread I've been using this whole time, white. Okay, so let's top stitch this whole thing around and be done. Okay, make sure my handles are out of the way. I'm going to start by right here at the side so that I can take a back stitch. I'm kind of going to stitch about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. I want it just to be a little bit more decorative looking, and there's nothing in the way, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to make sure that I hold this nicely the whole time. Just stay nice and level all the way around, holding that lining in the purse. Everything's nice and flush and flat and pretty. My straps are out of the way. Any loose threads I'm moving. Nice decorative stitch all the way around the whole top. Holding my lining down in, which is nice. Keep these handles out of my way though the whole time. Coming around to where I started. Almost done, guys. Then I can show you, and I'll take pictures and post them in the Facebook group for those of you in the group. If you're new to my channel, in the description below is a link to the Facebook group. You must be subscribed to my channel and to be able to join and then answer the questions. And you can join the Facebook group. So here we have it. Let's push this back down in there nicely. And that way I can show you guys. It's nicely in there, nicely in there. Everything's good, good, good. Yeah, I definitely think lining needs to be a little bit smaller with bags in all purse making now, honesty. So here's a little bag, has 2 little front pockets, has long handles. So for any size woman, it has a nice stitch all the way around the top. Notice I did it about 1/4 inch. It's almost more than 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So it's a nice decorative stitch holding it down in there, finishing off the look how this is that decorative stitch, you know. So I kind of finished that off. And then the back is this. I'm wondering if my lighting can be adjusted better so that you can see. One of the lights is glaring. And there's the side. It doesn't match up. It doesn't line up. It's scrappy. And the bottom pockets aren't very big, but I mean, you can throw your phone in it or whatever. And then the inside has a zipper pocket. So hold on, let's find my little zipper edge. So open up my zipper. The pocket's up in there. Should have made sure it was nice and down before I started stitching everything. So I have a pocket on one side. And it opens pretty far and it's pretty darn deep. So there's a pocket. And then the other side has a slip pocket, except my slip pocket has a slip pocket in the slip pocket. So it's a double slip pocket. I really like that. So it's a hidden slip pocket. And then there's a zipper pocket. So, and they're both different colors. I used all 21 pieces of the charm pack, and because it wasn't a full charm pack. And yeah, so here we have it. I'll de-thread it later, but my straps are nice. They're nice and thick, so it's not going to get heavy. I can yank on it. I just need to get a snap of some sort, and hold on, let me tip the camera down. I need to put a snap or something on it, you know. Other than that, let's see how well this nice little lower pocket helps with a big phone. So, like when you're in a hurry, just throw your phone in your pocket, you know. I mean, it's not like any. So you're gonna feel if someone's stealing something from you. So, you know, if you're in a hurry, just throw it in your pocket real quick, and you know what I mean, or whatever you want in it. They're low, but I think it'll work, you know, or whatever. So there we have it. I have made another purse. So as you guys can see, now I figured out the zipper. Perfect, right? There we have it. All right, guys, let me check all this up. Make sure that I caught all the comments that I could possibly catch. Clear. All right, nice. Keys. Yes, keys, so they don't get, I mean, and if you want, there, I saw online in some of the videos I was watching, they actually put little key holder things with a clip built in on the purse. So you could put a little hook thing with D hooks or whatever, which is how a lot of them are doing the zippers. You'd have to watch a ton of videos. I will get used to making it, and once I start learning the D rings and the sliders and all that stuff, then I'll be able to show you guys if you would rather learn from me. So, but for now, I did a zipper. Voila, I have a zipper pocket, and it's not messed up. There's no raw edges exposed like my bag last night, which has, and I don't know if you guys noticed this when I took pictures in the Facebook group. See, raw edge zipper. I don't know how it happened or what I did wrong, but I ended up with a raw edge zipper, and I was so mad that it came out that way that I totally forgot to put handles on this little thing. But these little pouches can go inside those. Look at that. So I think it's like a little makeup bag now, because yeah. So, and this was also made with those same exact colors. See, that same lining is the same thing. So I mean, this color is great. It works perfect for everything.
Is it all done? Can I see the finished product?
Here, you can look. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get off of here.
Oh, that looks pretty.
Very nice. Okay, got
that
it.
Looks pretty.
I'm gonna go take medicine because I'm seriously like serious. This is cool. This is a secret pocket inside the pocket.
Yeah, and you got an inner zipper. Look
Yep,
at
nice
that.
big zipper pocket. Okay, he's playing with the purse now.
That's
all right, guys.
I like it.
Well, I thank you guys for joining me for my 3-hour purse. So you know that takes 3 hours to do a purse. That's not long at all, because what if I needed to give something away later for a gift? 3 hours, bam, done. And this was just me making it up as I go. And I gave you guys all the instructions while I went. So if you rewatch the video, you can just write it all down, because I'll probably have to do that myself. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you all watching. Those of you who are new to my channel, don't forget to head down there that way, right towards the purse down there. There's buttons that subscribe, hit that, as well as like and share my videos. And I will see you guys next time I am on. Bye for now. Well, in a second when I can get my mouse in the right place. Bye, guys.